And in a weather alert this afternoon, spring storms flood parts of central Nevada. Drone video, here it is from the Eureka County Sheriff's Office, showing the extent of the rising waters there. Deputies saying they're facing unpredictable and unprecedented levels of flooding. First responders working through the night to help those affected as local leaders consider evacuation orders. Rain and snow melt are the culprits in this video you see here. All right, there is so much going on in the weather world, so wet all across the state.
And you just said it, rain and snow melt. That's what we're seeing in southern Utah, Emily, and that's why we have our very own flood warnings in effect right now. We're going to start with some video coming out of Zion National Park earlier today. You're going to see the Virgin River on the side of your screen, and we've got very high flows coming through this region. We know that we had a flash flood watch put into effect last night that has turned into a warning, and we've got several warnings in portions of southern Utah that have now been expanded. You can see the blinking there. Those are our flood warnings near Zion National Park, over towards Hilldale, and then in the southwest corner of the state over by the Beaver Wash Dam. Now, we know heavy rain coming down, and we are seeing snow melt, and a lot of these rivers are rising quickly. Localized flooding in places like Bloomington, the Santa Clara River is very high right now. We're going to see this area underneath this flood watch and these flood warnings for the next several hours. They hold on through tomorrow. Here's why. As you look at the precipitation totals coming off of this atmospheric river event, they are healthy. Over 2.7 there. Snow Basin getting 1.8, over an inch in Mendon, Heber, close to an inch. Pleasant Grove in that same arena. You have to keep in mind this Valley Rain Mountain snow setup really delivering. Zion close to an inch. We're going to get new numbers, and we know they're going to be above that. Oak City getting 0.8, half an inch in Ogden. Salt Lake International getting a quarter, and that's when we get rain shadowed by the Oakers. We still have picked up a quarter of an inch of moisture, so this is a very strong atmospheric river event that continues to deliver. As you look, the Storm Tracker radar sweeping the region, and it gives you a really good idea. Mountain snow in southern Utah, and as we zoom down south, we're seeing heavier rain towards St. George, near the Iron County and Washington County line, and then over towards Zion. Cedar City Mountains starting to deal with that snow. As we jump over to eastern Utah, we're very active there as well. Mixed precipitation in Vernal and the Basin. We are seeing some sloppy conditions, and then rain all the way over to Green River and towards Moab. Now in northern Utah, things have quieted down. That moisture has slid into Utah County, Provo, Payson, Spanish Fork, still dealing with soggy conditions, and that will be the case here for the next little while. This is a live view of Bryce Canyon where the snow is coming down. We have high snow levels, but they have now dropped because of the cold front that swept through the state. The front really enhancing the precipitation tonight. Winter storm warning in southern Utah for the mountains, winter weather advisory for the high country in central Utah, and we've stepped away from the winter storm warning in the north, and we will see this evening the western Uintas dropping that as well, but active conditions for a bulk of the state. Now all of this heavy mountain snow actually adds to our snowpack. We have extremely healthy percents throughout the state. Look at eastern Utah and down south, 229% of average. Today's a big day because statewide we're sitting at 173% of normal. That is an all-time snow water equivalent record for today. And that means snow water equivalent, when you hear us say that, it means that if you were to melt down all of the snow, it would be the depth of that water. And so we are sitting at that all-time record at 23.2 inches. It's a lot of moisture, which is not a surprise that we're talking flood, especially as temperatures begin to warm and we put rain on top of that snowpack. Very active conditions by 6 p.m. Watches that front down south, keeps the snow churning in the southern mountains, and it's rain down there in the southwest desert. Also places like Kanab seeing those rising waters drying out throughout the rest of the state as we head into the overnight just after midnight. As we clear for our Thursday, we get quieter conditions with high pressure building and taking control as we head into St. Patrick's Day and then into the weekend. So we get a few days here where things calm down, but not forever. Active skies still ahead, and that could impact a portion of your weekend. 30s and 40s for daytime highs tomorrow, cooler following the cold front in our northwesterly flow, allowing for that colder air. We've got 30s and 40s and some 50s on the eastern side of the state. Cloud cover will be around tomorrow, only getting into the upper 30s in Cedar City and 50s in St. George. Across the board, we're going to be below average. Let's zoom in and you find your city. Notice our mountain valleys in the teens tonight. So cold overnight. Park City hitting freezing tomorrow. 38 in Tooele, mid 40s in Ogden. In central Utah, drier conditions, partly cloudy skies, lots of 30s and 40s. but that northwesterly flow letting that cold air really come in and dictate the weather story as we roll into tomorrow. Only into the 50s in St. George. Usually this time of year, they're in the 60s. They don't get there for several days. There's that next system. It comes in on Monday, the start of spring, with a chance of rain in southern Utah. That does appear to be another atmospheric river event that we're going to watch very closely. And that moisture moves into the north late Monday and could impact Tuesday into Wednesday. Windy conditions, wet weather, and isolated showers possible for early tomorrow morning, but drying out for the next several days. We'll be right back.